You want the money. You want the fame. You want the respect. But you don't want the struggle. You don't want the pain. You don't want to suffer alone in the dark when no one claps. No one sees you. No one believes in you. Then forget it. Because this world doesn't hand out rewards to people who wish. It hands them to people who bleed. People who grind. People who get up after life smashes them to the floor. You want success? You want your goals? You want people to respect your name? Then stop pretending. Because right now, you're just surviving. Living on autopilot. Scrolling through dreams while your real life passes by. This is your reality check. No one's coming to save you. No shortcut, no magic, no easy button. Only you, and what you're willing to do when it gets hard. Money is made. Goals are achieved. Respect is earned. But only by those who become someone worthy of all three. So the real question is, will you? Most people want the outcome, but they hate the process. You want the body, but not the workouts. You want the money, but not the long nights and failed launches. You want respect, but you run the moment it gets tough. And that's why 95% of people stay average. Forever. Let me say it straight. You scroll. You wish. You dream. But you don't do. You fill your brain with motivation, but your hands stay empty. You write goals in your notebook, but never take the first step. You say things like, "Next year I'll start. When I'm ready. When life calms down." But guess what? Life never calms down. And you're not waiting. You're hiding. Let that sink in. Every day you're either building the life you want, or you're silently accepting the one you hate. And here's the brutal truth. No one is coming. No one is coming. No one is coming. You think someone will call you and give you a chance? You think life will knock on your door and say, "Hey, I noticed you were ready now. Here's your dream life. Wake up." You get one shot at this. One life. One chance. One moment called now. And you're wasting it. On comfort, on excuses, on laziness, on fear. How many years have you been stuck in the same place? How many January 1 STS did you promise yourself? This year, I'll change everything. And how many years passed while you stayed exactly the same? Be honest with yourself. You've had chances. You've had opportunities. But you were too scared, too distracted, too addicted to comfort. You weren't unlucky. You were unwilling. Let that slap hit you. Because until you take responsibility, nothing will change. And here's what you need to know. Success doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't care if you're tired. It doesn't care if you're not motivated. It rewards one thing only: relentless action. Everyone wants the glory, but no one wants the grind. Everyone wants the gold, but no one wants to bleed for it. Everyone wants the respect, but they don't want to earn it. If you want what few people have, you must be willing to do what few people do. That means getting up when it hurts, working when no one is watching, failing in silence, and showing up anyway. That means sacrificing the party, cutting the excuses, facing the mirror and saying, I'm not where I want to be, but starting today, I'm done hiding. You can't be half in. You can't want success and still chase distractions. You can't say you're hungry and sleep till noon. You can't talk about vision and still live in fear. This is your wake-up call. You are not behind because the world is unfair. You are behind because you chose easy over effort. And here's what stings the most. You know it. You feel it. Every time you lay in bed at night, thinking about everything you could be, if only you had started. So I'll ask again. How many more years will you waste? How many more dreams will you bury? How much longer will you let fear own you? Because if you're not willing to fight for it now, you better stop pretending like you ever wanted it in the first place. This is the line. Right here. Right now. Either you stay the same, or you finally say, enough. He was broke. Not the kind of broke where your bank account dips below $100. No. This was rock bottom broke. No house. No food. No job. And worst of all, a 5-year-old son looking up at him with wide, hungry eyes asking, Daddy, where are we going to sleep tonight? Chris didn't have an answer. They'd been evicted. Again. He had just $21 in his pocket. No family to call. No friends left who hadn't already said, Sorry, can't help you. So that night, he found the only door he could lock from the inside, a public bathroom at a train station. He spread some paper towels on the floor, held his son in his arms, locked the door, and cried silently as he whispered, Tomorrow will be better. I swear. But tomorrow wasn't better. Weeks went by. Days of standing in food lines, applying to every job he could find. He wore the same wrinkled suit for interviews. He washed in public sinks. He carried his son to daycare every morning and picked him up every evening, all while trying to break into the most competitive industry in the country, stockbroking. Why? Because he believed. He believed that if he learned the game, if he mastered it, if he outworked everyone, the money would come. Not today. Not next week. But one day. He walked into Dean Witter's office with no degree. No resume worth reading. Nothing but determination in his eyes. They said, We're not hiring. He didn't leave. They said, You're not qualified. He smiled and said, Give me a shot anyway. And finally, someone did. But even then, life didn't get easier. The internship didn't pay. He still had no home. So he worked 10-hour days learning the stock market, then stood in soup kitchen lines with his son at night. Every phone call, every rejection, every hung-up line, he kept dialing, because he had no backup plan. Failure wasn't an option. Sleeping in that bathroom had carved something into his soul. I will not die broke. I will not raise my son in poverty. The other interns left early. He stayed late. They made excuses. He made more calls. He studied the game like his life depended on it, because it did. And one day, it all flipped. He landed a client, then another, then another. He crushed the exams. He broke sales records. He earned a full-time position. And from there, the bathroom became a memory. The food lines disappeared. His son had his own bed. And Chris became a millionaire. Not by chasing money, but by chasing mastery. By outlasting the pain. Outworking the competition. Outbelieving every doubt that tried to break him. Chris Gardner didn't get lucky. He got relentless. He didn't quit. He refused to break. And life, eventually, gave in. And today, he's not just rich. He's a legend. A speaker. An inspiration to millions. Proof that even when life beats you down to nothing, your will can still be everything. And here's the part that hits hardest. You don't have to sleep in a bathroom to hit rock bottom. Some of you are living rock bottom mentally. You've got a roof. You've got food. But inside you're lost. Unfulfilled. Broken ambition. Broken effort. Waiting for something magical to happen without realizing. No one is coming to save you. If Chris could fight his way from the floor of a public bathroom to the floors of Wall Street, then what's stopping you? What would you do with no money, no support, and a kid in your arms? Give up or fight? Let's get this clear. Money doesn't change you. It reveals you. The real you. The person who you've hidden from the world. The person who isn't afraid to fight, to sacrifice, and to push beyond limits. You want the fame? The money? The respect? Here's the truth. It's not about what you want. It's about what you're willing to do to get it. Because goal setting without discipline? That's just a dream. A daydream. You can sit there, write down all your dreams. But if you don't wake up and act, if you don't push through the discomfort and become who you need to be, then you're wasting time. Time you'll never get back. The truth is, respect is not given. It's earned. It's built brick by brick. It's earned in the sleepless nights, in the grind that no one sees, in the sacrifices that make you stronger than you've ever imagined. Here's what people don't understand. Struggle isn't your enemy. It's the training ground for greatness. Every moment of pain you feel, every setback you experience, that's your body, your mind, your spirit being trained. It's testing your resilience. It's checking your willpower. It's seeing whether you can stand tall when the world knocks you down. Because when you're grinding, when you're suffering, when you're pushing yourself beyond the limits of what you thought possible, that's where the magic happens. That's when your true strength is forged. And let me tell you, if you're not feeling that pain right now, if you're not feeling that fire burning inside you, you're not working hard enough. You're not pushing enough. You're not becoming who you need to be. Success is not just about money or fame. It's about mental power. It's about having the strength to say, I will not quit. Not today. Not tomorrow. Not ever. When the world says no, you say yes. When life pushes you to the ground, you rise. Affirm it to yourself right now. I am focused. I am hungry. I will get what I came for. That is the mindset of a warrior. That's the mindset of someone who will never settle. That's the mindset that separates the dreamers from the doers. Look at all the successful people you admire, the athletes, the entrepreneurs, the leaders. They all have one thing in common. They embrace the struggle. They don't avoid it. They don't hide from it. They lean into it because they know that struggle is the only path to becoming the best version of themselves. The real battle isn't the external one. It's the internal one. It's the battle of who you are versus who you want to be. The person who starts today is not the person you'll be tomorrow. But you will be that person if you choose to put in the work. If you choose to outwork everyone else, to outlast the struggles, to outthink the obstacles in your path. So don't shy away from the grind. Don't look for an easy way out. The easy way isn't the way to greatness. The hard way? That's where legends are made. And right now, you're in the middle of it. You're in the storm. But guess what? That storm? It's shaping you. It's preparing you for the biggest wins of your life. So the next time you feel that pain, that discomfort, that doubt creeping in, remember this. It's not a curse. It's a blessing in disguise. It's the world telling you, you're getting stronger. It's your opportunity to rise above. If you're still struggling, if you're still fighting, it means you're still in the game. You're still winning. Because every day you push through, you get closer to the version of you that's unstoppable. Don't let this moment pass you by. Let the pain turn into your power. Affirm it again. I will never quit. I will never back down. I am unstoppable. And remember, this journey is not for the weak. It's for the ones who are willing to sacrifice. The ones who are willing to embrace the grind. You want money? You want respect? You want success? Then let me tell you something. You've got to earn it every single day. By showing up when it hurts. By pushing forward when you feel like giving up. By becoming unbreakable. This is your moment. This is your time. Now go out and claim what's yours. Mental shift through reframing struggle as growth. Emotional power delivered through short, impactful affirmations and phrases. A coach-style push to ignite inner strength and discipline. His name was Marcus. Once, he was nothing more than an ex-convict, labeled by society, judged by his past. Released from prison, he stepped into the world with nothing but scars, inside and out. No one saw him as a man who could change. They saw him as a criminal, a failure, a burden to society. He was lost, alone, without respect. And yet, in the midst of it all, something burned inside him. A fire. A quiet resolve. One night, as he stood on the street corner, watching people live their lives, it hit him. I'll prove them wrong. With that one thought, everything shifted. He decided that the man he was in the past would never define who he would become. It didn't happen overnight. No one handed him anything. The world still saw him as a criminal. But Marcus had something more powerful than people's opinions. He had a vision. He started working menial jobs, humbling himself every single day. But every job he took was a step forward. And through each setback, he grew stronger. He wasn't just trying to survive anymore. He was rebuilding himself. One day, as he walked through his old neighborhood, where people used to call him the Lost Cause, he noticed something. A group of young boys, maybe no older than 12 or 13, were hanging around the corner, doing things they shouldn't. It hit him hard. These kids, they were walking the same path he once had. The path that led nowhere but pain and regret. In that moment, Marcus knew what he had to do. He approached them. He spoke with them. He shared his story, the real story, the one no one ever asked him about. The story of pain, of losing everything, of being trapped by his past. But more importantly, he shared the lesson. It's not about who you were. It's about who you decide to become. From then on, he spent his days helping these kids, guiding them away from the very life he once led. He volunteered at the local community center, organized sports activities, mentored troubled youth, and slowly but surely, he started making a difference. He was no longer the man who had been cast aside. He was no longer the ex-convict. He was the man who had earned his place in the world. But his work didn't stop there. Marcus knew that respect wasn't about being liked. It wasn't about easy wins or shortcuts. It was about building something solid, something real, something earned. The community, at first hesitant and skeptical, began to notice. He wasn't just helping kids avoid crime. He was changing lives. His actions spoke louder than any words ever could. Slowly, the same people who once looked at him with judgment, with disdain, began to see him differently. He was no longer a lost cause. He was a leader, a respected man. Years later, Marcus was invited to speak at a national event. He stood before an audience full of people, many of whom had once written him off as a failure, and shared his story of transformation. The applause that followed was overwhelming. He had gone from being nothing to becoming a man of value, from being a convict to being a pillar in his community. Respect wasn't just something he earned from others. It was something he gave to himself first. He worked for it. He fought for it. And in the end, it came. Not as a gift, but as a consequence of the man he had chosen to become. Now, when people looked at Marcus, they saw a leader. They saw a man who had taken his scars and turned them into a badge of honor. He had nothing but scars, nothing but a past filled with mistakes, regret, and darkness. But still, he built something powerful. Now, the question is, what's your excuse? Respect isn't about who you were. It's about who you decide to become. He had nothing but scars. Still, he built something powerful. Now, what's your excuse? Boosts intensity by showcasing a character's deep personal transformation. Emotional investment through struggles and triumphs. Real-life relevance draws parallels to anyone facing past mistakes or adversity. Empowering call-out to challenge the audience to reflect on their own potential for change. Time is ticking. Every second you sit idle is a second someone else is rising. Someone else is grinding. Someone else is taking the steps that you are too scared to take. And while you stay stuck, while you wait for the perfect moment, they are moving ahead, gaining ground, and building the life you dream of. You want the money? You want the success? You want the respect? Then you need to wake up and move. Because no one is coming to save you. No one is going to hand you the life you're waiting for. It's not a matter of hope. It's a matter of action. Right now, you are living in a fantasy. You are telling yourself that one day, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week you'll start. But the truth? Tomorrow never comes. And the longer you wait, the harder it gets. The more time you waste, the further you fall behind. While you sleep, someone else is pushing their limits, putting in the work, and living out their goals. Money doesn't wait for anyone. Respect isn't handed to you on a silver platter. Goals don't work unless you do. You're sitting there thinking that life will just magically change, that one day things will fall into place. But you know what? Life doesn't work like that. It rewards the doers, the hustlers, the ones who make the decision to get up and move now. How many more years are you going to let slip by? How many more days will you wake up with that same empty feeling in your stomach, telling yourself, "I'll do it tomorrow"? No tomorrow isn't promised. Today is your moment. Right now, this very second, is your opportunity. This is your time to rise. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Right now. You might be scared. You might feel uncertain. But fear is fake. It's a liar, holding you back, trapping you in a cage of comfort and hesitation. Laziness? That's real. And it's slowly suffocating your potential, stealing your dreams 1 second at a time. You want change? Then kill the fear. Crush the laziness. You have to take action now. Every time you hesitate, the clock keeps ticking. Every time you make an excuse, someone else is getting 1 step closer to their goals. You think you'll catch up? No. You're already behind. The greatest thing you can do right now is decide to move. Decide to take the first step. Right now. Don't wait for the perfect time. There's no such thing. Now is the time. Don't wait until you're in a corner, until you're out of options, until the consequences of your inaction hit you in the face. Take control now. Step up. Own this moment. This is your wake-up call. This is the universe telling you that now is the time to rise. Get up. Move. Do. No more excuses. No more hesitation. Your success starts now. Urgency tone forces the viewer to feel like this is their last chance. Emotional buildup breaks through the mental barriers of procrastination and self-doubt. Direct challenge calls the viewer out on their excuses and pushes them to take immediate action. You want money? Then build value. Solve problems. Create impact. Stop waiting for the world to hand you something. You have to go out and take it. Start building. Start moving. You want goals? Stop talking. Stop dreaming. Start grinding. The grind isn't pretty, but it's necessary. Your goals don't care about your excuses. They're out there, waiting for someone who's willing to put in the work. That someone is you. You want respect? Then walk like a warrior. Live like one. Earn it day by day. It's not about what people think of you. It's about the way you carry yourself, the way you rise when others fall, the way you fight for what's yours. Enough waiting. Enough talking. Wake up. Lock in. This is the moment you've been waiting for. Your chance to become who you were born to be. This isn't some motivational speech to pump you up for 5 minutes. This is your call to action. This is your time to go out and get what you've been dreaming about. So get up. Go crush it. Because this world doesn't wait for anyone. And neither should you. Loud, commanding tone. The goal is to make the viewer feel like a soldier being called into battle, ready to face any challenge head-on. Dhammakita phrases. The phrases are designed to hit hard, create urgency, and motivate the viewer to act immediately. End with power. Leaves the viewer with a clear, strong, and memorable message that propels them to take action.